we have a fun box today. And on a side note, as I was transferring the video, I went to the prototype room and I was digging around, and I can't believe it. He finally showed up, even though I've been to this room multiple times, and we needed the finale of all videos will be that big room. I missed the tub where I had Street Sharks Clamato, the unproduced prototype, missing his eyes and his arms. But I bought it back in the day for a very cheap price. This is a hand-painted hard copy. And he finally showed up. I was like, really? I just kept missing this one tub over and over. Yes, you were. So here we are with the vintage tub of 90s toys. And they're really nice. There's some nice pieces in here. So let's drill through this and see what we're going to keep, what we're going to sell, and what I'm going to just throw in the street and just yell at people as they drive by. Ronin Warriors, Torpa. So this was an original anime series that I was getting into to an extent as it was being aired on Cartoon Network. It had its moments, but it became more of that cliche, like they learn their powers, they get stronger. The only characters that were actually interesting were the villains. I watched the whole thing in little tidbits here and there, and I finished it off, and it was a nice series. And I get the series. I do like the series. I do like the toys that were produced in conjunction with Playmates. Was it Takara? They were all issued in Japan, as you guys can remember, too, with alternate paint decos, which were quite nice, to be honest with you, as well as the unproduced in the U.S., well, the West, the line, which actually was just a Microman tiger with additional garbage armor. It was Takara, I just remembered. And it was a terrible, terrible toy. It looks great in the box. And then when you pull it out, all the limbs are loose, raw garbage. I would still pick them up in Japan for like 25, 30 bucks each because nobody cared about Ronin Warriors at the time, and sell them online for $100 each. Granted, at this time, all of that has passed and you can't find that stuff anymore. But back to the toys. Very nicely designed, lots of accessories. I love the build armor, but I can't keep all. I'm going to assume I'm going to have multiple Ronin Warriors carded still, and some Japanese boxed ones. So at this point, it's best to just tap on it and say, I like you guys. I have you loose. It's time to let you go. Remember those cool commercials of letitgo.com? Whatever happened to them? I got to take care of my baby. Hold on. Whoa. And we're on to my favorite Power Ranger series, SPD, the Omega Ranger. And this is the first version Omega Ranger, which is the more difficult one than the final series one. Still light up? Nope. And which is really sad because Bandai at this point was like, they're just toys. There is no way to replace the batteries. The figures are sonic welded. You cannot replace the battery at all. It's terrifying. Really got into, I like the concept that it was a police academy. Storyline was much more adult written. Again, kids show, yes, but it's more adult than just go beat them up. The toy line, it went up and then it went down in value. So I'm keeping one of each, as I said. We'll start off by keeping this character, and we'll see how many hours we have, because we will hit literally like 2 straight tubs of just SPD figures, most likely. If you guys did not know, the Omega Ranger, if you remember, was a little ball of light when he was not in his costume. And that's because, well, the director stated in one of the Power Ranger panels at Morphicon, which I recommend you visit, stated that Disney would not allow them to hire another actor to play the character. So the only way they can get away with it is just to do a little orb of light of the voiceover. Isn't that just, it works, right? But then it's like, Anyway, it's probably about 25, 30. We have the Yellow Ranger SWAT Patrol. Battery might still work on her. Lovely figure. Love you, Z. And just clean shape. Top of the line. Again, probably about 25, 30, but not many people are going banana for it anymore. And then, of course, we have on the flip side, Ryan Steele from VR Troopers. Dream, virtual reality. First series. Look at that. There's the VR Pursuit Jet. Again, if you didn't watch any of the previous videos, Kenner got the line, sculpted some wonderful action figures for the VR Trooper line. And they were like, you know what? Let's reuse that Skyborg jet mold from the original 1988 Cops toy line. Let's reuse the unproduced Aliens mini dropship, never made. And let's repaint it white, make it the VR Trooper Pursuit Jet. Might as well, right? Save a ton of money. Not big cuckoo money, probably about 15, 20. I'll keep though. And then of course we have, oh man, that's not good. Damn it. Okay, we'll get to that in a little bit. Tasha, the wind-up action figure from Land of the Lost. The thing I like about Land of the Lost is the fact that the intro is absolutely badass. A friend of mine that I would set up with at toy shows over the many years, he's a bit older than I am. So his Land of the Lost was the original Marty Krofft, and mine is the 90s. Complete different intros, how they got there and everything. And I just thought that was always fun. Like, no, this is the better song, dumbass. Tara. I like the wind-up figure. I like the little lizard monster. Great line from Tiger Toys. Again, not much love. I believe there's a couple underproduced dinosaurs. It's been a while since I sat down and chewed through Land of the Lost from Tiger. But again, it's another Lost series. People aren't going crazy for it. You have to jog their memory to watch the show again. But still a lovely line. I'll probably end up keeping it because even though I say $6.99 on that, that's probably what it's worth. We have another Ronin Warrior. Kale. So if you guys didn't know, all the Ronin Warrior series, a number of the characters were more difficult to get than the others. And it's just, I don't know how it happened. It just is. So Kale of the villains, the four, is the most common. You literally could walk into KB and he would be there for 3 for 10. The other characters, which were Anubis, Deus, and Sekhmet, those are more difficult. And Kento and I believe Rowan were the other ones that were more difficult. But definitely the 3 villains and then Kento. So for quite some time, like the mid-2000s, you would get $100 each, $125 for Anubis based upon his character. I have no idea how the market is right now. But I'm going to let him go. I should have loose sets. I can't do this. I can't keep everyone just because they're cool and badass. So I'm going to let them go. But it's okay, man. As I said, I can get these later if I wanted to. They are really nice packages. So I do want to keep one at least, of course. And then we have the Snaliens. This is our line that nobody was collecting ever. It's like you personally like the line, you collect it, but it had no value. So you would go to toy shows. I mean, look, it's $3.50. I picked this out at a toy show for $3.50. Isn't that nuts? And it was just a fun line. And you never, ever would say in 2008, oh yeah, I'm pretty confident Snaliens are going to jump in price. People are going to go crazy. And then, of course, 2020 happens. So I don't know what the market is right now for carded ones. $6 at Toys R Us. I mean, I could probably see $50, $75 on it. I'm keeping it, of course. What kind of loser would I be if I didn't? We have Jasmine and Ruff. So Aladdin figures, Mattel, I rip on them all the time. They're basic posability, but they did a really wonderful job. They're clean, they display well, they're colorful. They should be proud. A lot of variety in figures, a lot of multi-sets, 2nd series, 3rd series. And if you want a little pro tip, I'll give it to you because I know you're dying for Aladdin pro tip information. The rarest figure is Mechanicles, which was only sold at the Disney parks. How's that for you guys? Bet you didn't know that. And you thought you were a toy expert. Mega Bloks, Blue Ranger. So, lovely set. Mega Bloks did a great job at the time for what they had for the Power Ranger franchise. And they sold well. I can't say much more. They're fun, but it's more stuff that I was picking up for $5 each. And if you're not super Power Ranger, let alone Ninja Storm Die Hard, it's okay to let it go. The problem is it'll be worth about 10 to 15, and that's okay. Now, what I was getting a little upset about was, oh, that's not good. The carded figure of the Land of the Lost went and crushed this. Might pop out. Anyways, so I was at Toys R Us long ago, picking up all the rare exclusives for Zoids. And then I went to the KB and I was like, holy crap, $1 each. So I bought a ton of the turtle, the gorilla, and just, I mean, I've been through quite a lot of them and sold them all for the years. Probably worth about 25, 30. I just don't know if this is a personal collection piece. I don't know if I can pop that right now because it's really clean. So I can't sell it just yet because I love my Zoids. And they are getting more difficult to get for a very fair price. So I don't want to just let stuff go and then find out it went up in price later on. But the plug-in box was a little different. You build the whole Zoid around the little cubes that merge together. It's not a terrible idea. But it wasn't like pure Zoids. But yeah, keep her for now. And we are back with a little bit of a delay with Power Rangers Imagine Next, which was a beautiful line. Mattel, Fisher-Price, I'm going to give it to you again this round. You guys stood up, did it right, started off with Fisher-Price, built up the lines, built up the dinosaur series. That was fantastic. We moved to Power Rangers. And yeah, people love these. They don't have much of a high dollar value, and that's okay. Not every toy line has to be worth money. They are just nicely done. So again, collectors like them. Not all of them are clamoring to them, but the designs, the cute little effects they did, action features for all the Zords, the Megazords, everything worked out. I love them. All I have is just this 2-pack and a saber tooth, and that's okay. I got a sample each. I'm probably going to guess it's worth $10 to $15, and I think Mattel should continue on the line, but Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is like the well they always go back to for Power Rangers because that's where most people put the money into versus, let's say, hold on, we're going to do some Lost Galaxy figures. You get the idea. Neat stuff, though. I'm very happy they did this line. We're moving on to Zoid Builders from Zoids. So if you guys remember, I paid $1 each for these at KB Toys, and the box of this one is gloriously mint. So I'm happy this one survived. Look how case fresh that puppy is. I love the fact, the sound effect, that doesn't work. The tortoise made it beautiful, like this laser sound. And I kept playing with it in the car on the way back home when I bought it at Toys R Us or KB. Clean shape, love it. Look at that design. It's so just simple and dynamic. Again, Zoids is a completely unique action figure toy line / model kits that no one else can compare it to. And I want to keep buying them and building them, but I haven't done it in years. And at this point, as I said, maybe in the next life. So that's great. Happy to see. About 25, 30. Here's the tortoise. So this means I will probably not have a clean-shaped gorilla. Hopefully it still works. Nope. So yeah, it made this neat laser sound. I think did I open this one? No, this one's still sealed. A little bit of a tape rip there. But still very happy to have a nice sample. I may turn up more of these. As I said, I probably got confused. And I was just packing away triplicates of these guys. I don't know if I have them or not. Oh, look how adorable that guy is. Love these. I love these a lot, more than I should. So about the tortoise, same thing, 25, 35. And it's not based upon any rarity. It's just because KB blew out so many so cheap. Many other collectors, many other dealers, they all just stepped in and bought a huge swath of them and kept them sealed. So they're out there in number, in proportion to the people that are looking for them. It's a ratio that works out very well right now. So none of them are big bucks. We have Sinbad. So the Sinbad movie came and went, just how life is these days. But they made some great creatures. Look at that guy. So I'm not crying over Sinbad, the 12-inch. It's those creatures they made. Oh, look how nice that artwork is, though, too. Sinbad versus Serpius, Scorpius, and Rock. I like this stuff. I just once in a while, I'll get into a little bit of 12-inch, like the old Joes, things like this. I'm not really into that stuff, but this was just well designed. I like that. I don't think it has any value, but it's a really nice piece. I'd like to just have it loose, to be honest with you. I'm actually just going to assume this is probably only worth about $15. And if it's only worth $15, I might just open it and just be happy with the lace loose one, because that's okay. That's okay, man. But yeah, anything that's cool, creature, monster oriented like that, hell yeah. But I am curious because they are a little bit uncommon. So let me know, future Alex. And to wrap it up, we have Primal Rage. I was a big Mortal Kombat 2 fan. Midway is located in Chicago, and they beta tested the Mortal Kombat 2 arcade at Super Just Games, where I was growing up at. So pure, just blissful memories of Mortal Kombat 2. And then as things and time progressed, they had, Night Stalkers, Primal Rage, Killer Instinct came out. And to be honest with you, when they did the combos, I never got into that. I really didn't. So Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat were like my go-to. The toys came out for Primal Rage. They did very well. This is the most difficult piece. Final series, and not the easiest to get. Not by a long shot. I would probably hazard these have gone up in value. He was always difficult, but we're talking like early 2000s, all Primal Rage figures were like, people liked them. They were just really great toys. Playmates made them. I mean, you can't go wrong, but they weren't big money. Like there's a threshold for a lot of these 90s toys where you just couldn't pass a certain dollar amount. That's just how it is. Turtles, Street Sharks, all of them. You get a loose Street Shark, 10 to 15. Box Street Shark, 25, 35, maybe 40, but like that's where you're pushing it for these 90s toys. So a lot of the Primal Rage figures were the same way, like 25, 30 bucks, but he was difficult. Everyone knew that. But back then he was like 65. I'm pretty much well aware that he is around probably 200, 225 now. He's up there because he's just so damn badass. As well as I was mentioning earlier, he was always very difficult, which is kind of strange because he wasn't a repaint sculpt. He was a complete new sculpt. He was great looking. You would think they'd make him a decent amount in the case assortment for the final series, but looks like they didn't. And, well, he's a damn keeper, of course, because I don't got to have a loose one of these. Are you kidding me? Wish the box was in better shape, of course, but you know what? I probably only paid about $10 to $15 for this all those years ago, so I can't really complain, can I? Of course I can. So we're going to keep grinding away at these boxes. I need to speed this stuff up. We need to get a video a day and keep listing. You know what? Sleep is for the weak, they told me when I was in kindergarten. They were right. And I got to start sleeping a lot less and start working more. So thank you, everyone, for watching. To be honest with you, I'd like to do the more proper videos, which is what I actually dreamed this channel to be. But I need to crush this stuff, get the room to do those channel episodes, and get the Momo in. So we are going to get to a couple more unique showcase listings, but it seems people just really want, to be honest with you, the big lines, Star Wars, Transformers, and Turtles, which I get. But man, I'd like to get some more love for those other toy lines, but they just don't get those views. But I'm still going to do them anyways.